How many of you guys like to take pictures? Okay. Now, how many of you would consider yourself photographers? Okay. Now, I want you to remember the last great photo you've seen. Anything coming to mind? Okay. You might see a beautiful landscape, sunrise. Or you might see a great portrait with amazing composition. Since photography has become so mainstream and so easily accessible to everyone, it's no surprise that some of you are interested in photography. Personally, photography is a strong passion of mine, and I like to talk to others about my passions, so here we are. Today I will be talking to you on some of the hardware aspects of DSLRs and some of the lingo that is associated with photography, and how photography can change your view on the world. I've been shooting for around 2 years now, and throughout this time I've traveled all of the West Coast and 2 islands of Hawaii. Neither of them were planned strictly for photography, but while I was there, I utilized my time and I shot as much as I could. Every day I would go out adventuring with my camera. I also have read a lot of different books about photography, digital photography in specific, books talking about hardware on DSLRs, composition, post-processing, and the list goes on. By taking a simple macroscopic view of a DSLR, you'll see that it's primarily composed of 2 different parts. You've got the body and the lens. Now, while these parts are very, very important, they're not the most important, the most critical part. Let's take a deeper look into the body. If you flip back the mirror, you'll see some shutters. Behind the shutters, you have the sensor. Now, the sensor is the most important part of the camera. This is what captures that light. Now, the sensor is composed of these things called photosites. Photosites are just divots that are in the sensor itself that capture the different frequencies of light. Once it's captured, then it's processed through the processor and sent to the user interface or the screen on the back of the camera. The body itself has tons of different controls, but I'm only going to go over 3 for the sake of time. We've got the focus ring, which lets you capture crisp focus and lets you get things out of focus so then you can have that depth of field. Then you have autofocus, which is same thing, just no ring. You have the f-stop, which is how much light is going to be let in through an iris diaphragm. And exposure time is pretty much the same thing, just with how long that iris is open. You have the ISO, which is light sensitivity to the sensor. Well, now you know most of what it takes to control a DSLR. We went over components of a camera, and we also went over some of the settings. I believe photography can be an outlet for exploration, adventure, and storytelling. This passion has taken me places that without it, I would never have gone. Seeing the diverse people, geography, and world experiences that I have through this lens is what I believe photography and storytelling is truly about. Thank you.
Mercy. Right there.
Yeah, when you guys walked in, I was filming.
Oh.